Welcome to Bible Blocks. Just like you need a plan to build in Minecraft, God had a great plan for creation and His people. Through the stories of the Bible, God shows us His great plan and teaches us to trust Him through it. The book of Ruth has been a small story, but it plays a big part of God's story. Now as we look at chapter 4, the last chapter of the book, we get a better idea of how it all fits together in God's bigger picture. If you remember back to our last video, Ruth had gone to Boaz and asked him to redeem her as their guardian redeemer. Ruth and Naomi were then waiting to hear what was going to happen to them next. Boaz took 10 of the elders of the town, as well as the other guardian redeemer, and explained Naomi and Ruth's story. A guardian redeemer was the legal term for a close and usually rich relative who people in the family could turn to for help, particularly when the family line or their possessions were going to be lost. They would be responsible for buying back the land sold during the crisis, or buying back relatives who were sold as slaves, or caring for relatives who were having a hard time. To be the guardian redeemer for Ruth and Naomi would mean that they would need to buy Naomi's land and also marry Ruth and care for them both. The man who was first in line to redeem them decided he didn't want to do all of that. So Boaz announced to those watching, "Today you are witnesses that I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Mahlon, and Chilion. I will also marry the Moabite Ruth." Back in the days of Ruth, when someone wanted to buy things like land, they would take one of their shoes off and give it to the other person. This was how they made it a legal purchase. So Boaz and Ruth got married. That must have been such a wonderful day for both Ruth and Naomi. Not only did she now have a son in Boaz, but Ruth and Boaz eventually had a son of their own and named him Obed. At the very end of Ruth chapter 4, we see something called a genealogy. It's like a family tree. We get to learn the names of all the fathers in Boaz's line, and then we get to see a glimpse into the future. When Obed got older, he had a son named Jesse. When Jesse got older, he had a son named David. David, well, he became the one and only King David. The Bible tells us that the genealogy continues from David, and eventually we get to Jesus. The book of Ruth, though small, has been a big part of God's big story for His people and His creation. I hope to see you another time for a new Bible Block series. Bye.